Hi everybody, I'm Mike and this is Half Step Theory, and today we're going to talk about intervals. So in my last video we covered the notes. I just went over the note names and then how to find them on the fretboard. If you missed that video, there's a link in the description. So in this video I want to talk about the intervals, because that, when you learn the notes and then you take the intervals and you set them next to there, that's where you start learning how to build scales, chords, things like that. So I think it's the logical next step, and that's why I'm making this video now. So in this particular video, I'm just gonna go over the names of the intervals, and then how they match up with the notes. So let's take A, for example, as our root, which would mean if we're playing something in the key of A is our root note. And I figure it's a good place to start. It's the first letter of the alphabet. So if we have A as our root, the very next interval, the next note, is an A sharp. But the interval is called the minor second. So if you have an A note, the very next note is the minor second note. Or from your root note, your next note is the minor second. The next note after that is the major second. And then the following note is the minor third. Then you have the major third. Then you have the perfect fourth. And then you have the augmented fourth or the diminished fifth. It's the same note. It can be used with two different names. And that depends on the key that you're playing in, what the scale, what notes are in the scale. That's how you'll determine which way to call it. So it's the augmented fourth or the diminished fifth. It's the same note. And then following that is the perfect fifth. Then you have the minor sixth, major sixth, minor seventh, major seventh, and then the unison or octave, which is back to the first note. And in this case, that's an A. So if A is your root note, your minor second is going to be the A sharp. And then your major second is going to be a B. And then your minor third is going to be a C. And then your major third is going to be a C sharp. And so you go on down the line, just like how we did in that last video where we used the A string to demonstrate how to count up the notes on the fretboard. You go all the way through 12 notes, and you have 12 intervals. So each of those 12 notes matches to one of the intervals. So the way this works is if you start your root note with, let's say, a C. So your root is a C. The minor second is going to be the very next note after C, which is a C sharp. And then the major second is going to be a D. And then the minor third is going to be a D sharp. And then the major third is going to be an E. So you see how it just counts with it. So wherever you start, whatever your root note is, it could be anything. It could be a B, right? And so if your root is B, the very next note is going to be the minor second, and then the major second, minor third, major third, perfect fourth, augmented fourth or diminished fifth, and then the perfect fifth, minor sixth, major sixth, minor seventh, major seventh, and then the eighth. The eighth is the unison or octave or tonic. There's different names for the root note. It's basically the root note again. So I just wanted to go over that real quick. It's really not as difficult as a lot of people make it seem. Just to learn the names of the intervals, and if you can take a list of the two of the intervals and then set the list of all the notes side by side and then kind of mix and match them, you can see how it works, how to build scales, how to build chords, and everything like that. And so in one of my upcoming videos, we're going to talk about building the major scale. So after this, I'm going to kind of stop on the terminology, and the next, I believe my next couple of videos are going to focus on the key of C, because it's And most people start learning in either the key of C or the key of G. I'm going to start in the key of C because it cuts out all the sharps or flat notes. And in the key of C, all you have is the natural notes, which is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then back to A. Of course, in the key of C, you would start with a C and end on a C, but there's no sharp notes or flat notes. So in upcoming videos, that's what we're going to focus on. We're going to start learning about the key of C, and we're going to take the list of note names and we're going to put it next to the list of intervals, and we're going to see how to create that scale and how to create the chords and everything that fits into the key of C. And along the way, we're going to talk about scale shapes on the fretboard so that you can apply this knowledge as you learn it. And we're going to talk about different chord positions along the fretboard. I already did one video about the cage system, and I want to continue doing that in different keys. So we will take that cage system and apply it to the key of C. And from that point on, we're gonna focus on one key at a time and just learn all about the notes, the intervals, the scales, the chords, and we're gonna learn it all up and down the fretboard. So if you like this video and you want to see more like this, you can subscribe, hit the like button, share it on social media, and click the bell icon if you want to get notified every time I upload something new. And also, if you want to throw me some extra support, I do have a Patreon page. The link is down in the description, so you can head on over to Patreon and help me out over there too. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.